For example, a woman wants to, let's say, study, or for example, there's a young woman, she wishes to, study further, anything, and the family supports the son but not the daughter.
Hmm.
The daughter is told from a very young age, as soon as you get a nice proposal, you'll be married, and so she doesn't have that support or encouragement from the family to really do something, contribute to the community, the society. She's told that her priority is marriage and only marriage. How is she supposed to develop
I think that has to do with the belief behind it. Like those people need to be told that women can and should have role bigger than that limited narrow vision that I have for the future of my daughter. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, وَلَمْ يُفَضِّلْ وَلَدَهُ عَلَيْهِنْ. He did not favor his son over his daughter. He treated them equally. Also, knowing how, good examples. Fatima Samarqandiya, for instance, her father used to write the fatwas. She'd write the fatwa for him. Sometimes he would ask the students when they debate over something, he said, ask my daughter Fatima. And when he writes a fatwa, he signs it by his name and his daughter's name comes next. That's to empower her. When she got married to her husband, Imam al-Kasai rahimahullah, the famous Hanafi scholar, he used to sign his name under her name. So her father's name comes on the top, her name comes in the middle, and his name comes in the third line. When her father died, he still let her have her name on the top of his name, on the fatwa when it's signed. That's a support. He did not stop her from continuing seeking knowledge. And she used to advise Nuruddin Zinki. Later on, she moved to Aleppo and she became like in an advisory position to the king of Aleppo. He did not see, limited his, actually he made her grow. And I always say it is sad when I see some sister, when they get married, their contribution became way less because her husband pulled her back. When she grew up older, her parents pull her back from being contributing more to the society. And that's wrong. We should advance and take advantage of someone willing to contribute, someone willing to be more involved and to support that. This talent should be supported. Like what Fatima Samarqandiya received. So definitely this is something sad to see, and the problem behind it is because we have very narrow vision of what women can do to the society. And I talk a lot about this on this course, about how women are partner with the men. They are both responsible for the society. And also I want to say something in regard to the issue of how to advise a family member that you raised earlier. And the sister alluded to it by saying, through your being role model, being action. There is one, in the old days they used to have slaves, like 800, 900 years ago in the Muslim world. So this man went and he sold those skinny girls in the market. He felt bad for her, treated bad, she's a slave. So he purchased that slave, female slave. And he said, your family didn't, whoever you lived with before didn't feed you, treat you bad. She said, no, I just don't eat much. So he found that she's fasting the next day. And he said, you're so sick and you've been traveling, eat. She said, no, I'm good. Maghrib came, she made iftar. Then he said, I went to bed, and she said to me, you just go sleep like that? You don't make night prayer? And he said, no, I sleep because I work hard during the daytime and I pray Isha and I go to sleep. She said, subhanallah, how come you're a Muslim and you don't pray in the night? He said, that's me, I just work hard. So he said he went to bed, and he said before Fajr she came and she wake him up again. And she's knocking on the door, him and his friend, stand up, pray. How come you guys sleeping? It's almost Fajr. Then he became angry. He said, I told you, I sleep the whole night. She said, even before Fajr, you don't wake up? He said, I don't wake up until Fajr called. And he said, at Fajr, I went, and a little bit before Fajr, and he couldn't go back to sleep or whatever, he went to her place, and he found her praying. And she's saying, Ya Allah, you are my loved one. And I love you so much. And I'm so grateful for you that you love me so much as well. He said, when she finished, I told her, I heard you saying that you love Allah, and you said, Ya Allah, you love me. How did you know that Allah loves you? Okay, I understand you saying you love Allah, but how would you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you? She said, because He made me stand up in the night, pray to Him every night, while you every night go to sleep. He allowed me to come closer to Him. You only allowed those who you love to come closer to you. And I know that He loves me so much that He made it so easy for me to every night to stay up in the night and to pray to Him. When I saw you like this, I felt how great ni'mah that I have. He said, when she said that, he couldn't control his emotion. He said, you are free for the sake of Allah. You're a free woman. You're never going to be a slave again in your life. Then she was crying, and he said, why are you crying? I thought you should be happy. Then she said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have provided me with the minor freedom. But the real major freedom is when Allah free me from the hellfire in the day of judgment. And I ask Allah to grant me this. I mention this because she's like a family member, okay, in the house. But she really impacted the man through actions. Not lectures, not, by her nasiha. And then she just stepped back and became basically the one who practiced the deen. And through our action, I always say, especially when kids, your kids maybe don't listen to you, but I guarantee you, they watch you. If you think your kids don't listen, but they watch very carefully. And what you do in front of them, and the message that they get through their eyes is more powerful than what they get through their ears and just to talk. Final point I want to say. I found some women that when they became religious, and their husbands are not religious yet. And this happened a lot. All sisters became religious, practice, go to Quran, start wearing hijab, and their husbands maybe still in the Jahiliyyah days. Their deen didn't advance as fast as these sisters advanced in their religion. One of the problems that I see in these houses, that all the conversation in the house became only about religion. So because she's religious, everything, and dinner and lunch and breakfast and everything, it's about Islam, Quran, Seerah, Hadith, Tafsir, Fiqh, as if he's living like, in an Islamic school or like an institute or became a classroom. And I think that's not normal. Yes, Islam is a big part of our life, but too much of it sometimes turns people off. What connects us to each other is not only religion. It's a religion, but also something called love, some call entertainment, some call, fun, hobbies. There is many other areas in life should take place. That's natural to exist. That would connect me to my children, to my spouse. And sometimes when we focus on only in one area, and that will only define our relationship. In America we say two things we don't talk about it over dinner: religion and politics. And to a certain extent I agree with that, because I agree with that if it's going to turn to fight. Like every time we talk about like some halal and haram, we go fight. Can we just have a dinner? Can we just have fun? Can we just have a nice conversation? Can we just relax? And became irritating, sometimes like nagging even, over the haram, not allowed, do this, not do this, and it became like so irritating to the men that they start complaining, I wish that she's not religious. And that's not correct. I think you should be more loving and more accommodating and more fun after being religious then being not religious. I'm not sure if this makes sense or to you or not, or you agree with it or from your experience in life or not, but that's something I have seen, and it kind of, yes?
I just have agree to what you said just now, and just sharing my personal experience with that. That when I started, mashallah, studying with Al-Huda and everything like that, and so my son started saying to me, he's the one who taught me that you have distance from me, and you're not the same mom anymore. And whenever this kind of issue with halal and haram would come in, he would not take it seriously. The moment he tried to explain to me, be my friend, be my mother first. And when I changed my perspective and got involved into his life and started listening to him, his hobbies, his interests, his day, what happened all day, instead of just saying, did you pray? So all those things, when I started changing, I noticed him falling into place, like his salah came into place. And that was a really big experience for me, because I thought my way would be just, do this and do that, as you mentioned. But with my experience,
Nice.
it was really amazing that up till now, when I call him, what he's expecting is to ask how his day was. And then he would share with me. And it's easy for them to listen to us when we start listening to them.
Nice. Very well said. Very well said.
Every question ever asked about women's fiqh is answered in this online course. But if you want to challenge that, you have live Q&A sessions to ask what hasn't already been asked. Click on the button and get access to your student portal before that window closes.